Morning, team owners. Listen, guys, we are having playoffs coming up, and most of you understand this, hopefully. Some of you may not, but we have a first tier and second tier in the playoffs. In the first tier, this year I want to do previews of the rounds in the playoffs, and I want to break it down into the first tier and the second tier. What this does is when you take a week, of highlights and previews in a round in the playoffs, you'll only be doing 4 games if you're in the top tier. You'll only be doing 4 games the first round in the bottom tier, and then the second round there will only be 2 games in the bottom tier. So what I would ultimately like to do is have someone do highlights in the top tier that's actually playing in the top tier. And then in the bottom tier, I would like to have someone doing the productions if they are in the bottom tier. Now, the way I'd like to do this also is I can do the bottom tier if there's no one in the bottom tier. Once we get down from 4 teams to just 2 teams, I can do the bottom tier. But the top tier, especially in the first 2 rounds, I would like someone who is in the top tier to do the 4 games in the top tier in the first and second rounds. If any of that made sense, I hope it did. That is what I'd like to do. So I'm taking volunteers. I have some of you already set up. PM me on Facebook to discuss. We want to make sure we don't double up and have 2 people planning to do it. But this is in all leagues. It's basically the same setup. And remember, the bottom 4 in the 20-team league, you guys, season will be over if you're in the bottom 4. You will line up in the playoffs, but you will not play anyone. In the 16-team leagues, of course, everyone plays in the playoffs, and the bottom tier is a single elimination. Once you lose in the bottom tier, what you should be doing is dropping any players that you don't feel are remotely possibly going to be a keeper, and that includes some of your ancillary positions, kickers and such. But you need to drop them and try to shop players that are hurt, that are out. Maybe they're first or second year wide receivers, and they're going to be much better the next year. And you anticipate that because these are year-round leagues you're in. So with that said, anyone that I haven't spoke to already that wants to try to do a production in the top tier or the bottom tier in the playoff rounds, please let me know. I'm just so busy with the different leagues that I'm trying to manage. You guys help, and it's good when everybody sees a different face. So good luck in week 13.